She woke up barefoot in an uncompleted building, sitting beside a madman. The last thing she remembered was going to bed in her own apartment. This wasn't the first time. Sometimes it was the riverbank, sometimes the middle of a busy road, and every time she swore she could still hear the whispers of the dead people from her dreams. Lagos is a busy city. People say never sleeps. Here dreams, here fine clothes, and traffic wears everybody's patience. In this city, 3 young women shared an apartment that looked very rich on Instagram, but in real life, it was just okay. The building had a small lift that sometimes made strange noises before moving. Outside, a generator hummed every night like an old storyteller. But inside the apartment, you could see bright ring lights, a shiny velvet couch, shelves full of sweat, smelling perfume, and a gold-framed mirror that made everyone look like a celebrity. Omotoye was the first to come to Lagos. She was calm, gentle, and always spoke like she knew where she was going in life. She called herself a content creator and loved making videos, opening new things, showing her clothes, day in my life videos, and get ready with me posts. She knew how to make small things look big online. Her dreams was to live the soft life, a life full of comfort and beauty. Njideka was the second. She had a sharp tongue and spoke her mind without fear. Some days she called herself a forex trader, other days an entrepreneur. She had 10,000 followers online, but they rarely commented or liked her post. Did she buy it? Now she know. Her phone screen was cracked, but her confidence was unbroken. She believed one big opportunity would change her life, and she was ready to grab it when it came. Abeni was the newest in the house. She had just moved in from Johannesburg with 3 big suitcases and dreams that sparkled. She carried herself like someone used to bring notice. She loved pink walls, glass vases, pretty flowers, and clean, well-arranged rooms. On her first day, she announced, "I will be redecorating the guest room. Good night means a good life." One evening, 3 friends sat together scrolling through their phones. Outside, the sun was setting, and the street below was full of car horns and the smell of roasting suya. Abeni smiled and said, "A luxury spa in Lekki wants me to come for a free treatment. They will also give me a small payment." "How small?" Nkemjika asked quickly. $200. Abeni replied. Nkemjika's eyes grew wide. $200 or $2,000? $200 just for me to manage. Just to lie down and let them rub your back? God, when will my own blessing come? Omotoye laughed. Blessings come to those who package themselves like gifts. Content is the wrapper. Confidence is the ribbon. Nkemjika clapped once. Ah, philosopher queen. But remember, diesel is expensive. Soft life doesn't pay the light bills. They laughed together, but in their hearts, they knew money was tight. Rent was due. Petrol was costly. Food prices were climbing. Lagos is a city of almost. Almost rich, almost famous, almost comfortable, and almost does not feed you. Abeni leaned forward. We must show people a luxury life if we want them to follow us. You cannot teach people how to make money if you look broke. So, we buy what we cannot afford. Nkemjika frowned. We curate now, Abeni said. We borrow, rent, or share things. We take pictures in nice places. People will believe in our brand before we are truly rich. That means you are faking it, Abi. Omotoyo nodded. Packaging is what is the name? Yes, Abeni smiled. We visited 5-star hotels, order one small drink, and take plenty of photos. We dress for the life we want. Remember the saying, fake it until you make it. Nkemjika rolled her eyes. But inside, she was thinking about the idea. If we are selling gold, she said slowly, our glasses must shine. The next day, they began their soft life journey. Omotoyo filmed her morning routine with face creams that cost more than her electricity bill. Abeni made a video opening a new pair of shoes she had been paying for in a small amount for months. She even cried a little while filming, tears of joy mixed with the memory of sacrifice. Njika didn't want to be left out. She ordered a handbag that looked like a famous brand but was much cheaper. She told herself it was not fake, it was just a master copy. When the package came, it smelled of glue and newness. Don't do it, Omotoye warned. But Lagos is a city where advice often sounds like background noise. Njika went live on Instagram holding the bag. Hi guys, my new bag arrived. This is my new baby, she said happily. Some viewers commented, fake. Others asked, where did you get it? That question's hot. That evening, the three sat in the living room. The air felt heavy. Ladies, Abeni began, lowering her voice. There is a faster way to make big money. I know a woman, Madam Zubari, who arranges private companionship for rich men. No sex is required unless you want just look nice, talk well, and keep them company. She pays up to 2 million naira a night. The room went quiet. Outside, the call to prayer mixed with church singing. Lagos seemed to be listening. The proverb says, Omotoyo whispered, a soft bed does not mean soft dreams. Njika touched her new bag and said, and hunger has no manners. They looked at each other, three friends standing at the edge of a choice. The kind of choice Lagos offers. Gold that might be glass, glass that might be gold. That night, none of them slept well. Omotoye dreamed of a river red as lipstick. Njika dreamed of riches that turned to sand. Abeni slept with her hand on her new shoes as if they could guide her future. The generator outside kept humming as if warning them, shine is not the same as light. The next afternoon, the three friends took a taxi to meet Madam Zubaru. She lived in a big house with tall gate and a guard who didn't smile. Inside, the air smelled like perfume and power. Madam Zaburu was a tall woman with sharp eyes. She looked at them from head to toe. You girls are beautiful, she said, but beauty is not enough. You must be smart. The men I deal with are rich. They want women who can talk, laugh, and look expensive. If you play your cards well, you can earn 2 million naira one night. Hey! Njika's eyes light up. Abeni nodded quickly, but Omotoye stayed quiet. No sex is required. Madam Zubaru continued. But some men will offer more if you agree. This is your choice. I never force anyone. The three exchanged looks. The offer sounded simple, but in Lagos, nothing is ever that simple. 2 nights later, they got their first job. Madam Zubaru took them to a private party at a hotel. Expensive cars like the driveway. Inside, men in suits laughed loudly, holding drinks that sparkled under the light. A man with gold rings on every finger walked straight to Omotoye. Are you in your period? He asked. Omotoye froze. Why? She asked carefully. He smiled in a strange way. I pay double for special ladies. Her heart beat fast. She remembered her pastor's warning about blood being sacred. But the thought of millions made her hesitate. She remembered the school fees of her people she had to pay. She remembered she had to pay house rent for her mother. She remembered her senior brother that is about finishing university. What do I do? Madam Zaburu pulled her aside. He is a good client. If you go, you will return safe and rich. Do you want the job? Omotoye's heart was full of noise. Rent, family needs, and dreams of a better life fought inside her mind. At last, she nodded. The man took her to a big hotel room. At first, he was polite. in Victoria Island. He gave her a drink and asked about her life. Then he brought out a small box of strange items, ropes, blindfolds, and bottles. I like to play games, he said softly. You will call me master. Omotayo's stomach turned. I don't think I can do this anymore. For $2,000? You can, he replied, stepping closer. She wanted to run, but her legs felt heavy. She thought of the money. She thought of the shame. She thought of leaving empty-handed. She still have a flash of her family needs. Finally, she decided she would not cross the line. She left the room without taking a single naira. The man watched her go, smiling like he knew something she didn't. The next day, Nkemjika took a job. She was supposed to just keep a man company. But at the end of the night, the man tried to force her to stay longer. She refused. He got angry and threw money at her. You girls think you are smart, Abi? But you don't know the real game, he said, before walking away. When she got home, Abeni had bad news. Nkemjika, your loan app called me. You put my name as guarantor, Abi? Nkemjika's face went red. It was just 500,000 naira. It's a small money. I was going to pay it back now. Abeni shouted. Do I look like your bank? Remove me from your mess. Nonsense. Before they could calm down, a knock came at the door. It was a man in dark glasses. He handed Abeni a paper. Her car had been taken, repossessed by someone she knew. Oh my goodness. That night, Omotayo began bleeding heavily. At first, she thought it was stress, but the blood didn't stop. Days passed. Hospitals ran tests, but found nothing wrong. One evening, she whispered to Abeni, I think I am cursed. Abeni, now shaken by everything happening, agreed. We need to go to church. The pastor listened carefully. Some men do not come for pleasure. He said slowly, they come for power. Blood is a key they use for evil. You must turn back to God now before it's late. He prayed over Omotayo, speaking strong words. She felt heart run through her body. The bleeding stopped that night. 2 days later, Madam Zubaru called. A new client wants 2 girls. He will pay in dollars. Are you ready, girls? Abeni was quick to agree. Nkemjika too. But Omotayo shook her head. I am done with this nonsense. That's fine. Madam Zubaru said, but the client only wants Nkemjika and Abeni. No problem. They were happy until Madam Zaburu called Nkemjika privately. The man likes unusual things. He knows you are on your period. He says it's fine. Nkemjika froze. No, that's dangerous. Then no job. Madam Zubaru said coldly. Nkemjika refused. Abeni begged her to change her mind. They argued for hours. That night, Omotayo's phone rang. It was the man from the hotel. You think you can walk away from me? He said. You agree. You already gave me what I needed. She dropped the phone, her hands shaking. What's wrong? Abeni asked. Omotayo looked at them with fear in her eyes. I think we are in deeper trouble than we thought. The days after the call from the strange man were dark for the stray friends. Omotayo barely ate. She would sit on the couch, staring at nothing, her mind replaying that night in the hotel. Nkemjika was restless, pacing around the apartment like a caged cat. Abeni, normally full of plans, sat in bed, scrolling through her phone without smiling. The soft life they dreamed about now felt like a heavy chain on their neck. One rainy afternoon, Madam Zubaru arrived without calling first. She wore a bright yellow dress and a smile that didn't match the weather. Girls, she said, sitting down like she owned the place, I have a job that will solve your money problems forever. Nobody answered. She leaned forward. 2 rich men from overseas. They are in Lagos for only one night. They will pay you $5,000 each. Ha! Nkemjika's eyes widened. $5,000 each? Madam, are you serious? Yes, and they will even give you shopping money. Madam Zubaro's voice was like honey. Abeni bit her lips. What do you want? What do they want? Just your company. Madam Zubaro said too quickly. Laugh with them, dance with them, make them feel like kings. Omotoyo's stomach turned. She had heard this line before. And if they want more, what is your choice? That's your choice. Madam Zaburos replied with a smile. But girls, this is big money. Do you want to keep struggling forever? The room went silent. Outside, the rain hit the windows hard, as if warning them. Finally, Abeni said, I'm in. Nkemjika hesitated. I don't know. Omotoyo shook her head. No, this ends now. Madam Zaburo's smile faded. You regret saying no, she said, then left. That night, Abeni and Nkemjika dressed up in their best clothes and left with Madam Zubaro. Omotoyo stayed home, praying for them, her chest heavy. At 2 a.m., the apartment door flew open. Nkemjika stumbled in, her makeup smoked, her eyes wild. Where is Abeni? Omotoyo asked, jumping up. Nkemjika's voice shook. They took her to another room. She told me to leave. She said she was fine, but her words broke into sobs. Omotoyo grabbed her phone. She tried calling Abeni, but the line was off. She called again and nothing. At 5 a.m., Abeni walked in. Her hair was messy. Her dress torn at the sleeve. She was holding a small bag. Are you okay? Omotoyo rushed to her. I'm fine. Abeni said, forcing a smile. They gave me this. She opened the bag, showing bundles of cash. Hey, we don't land. Nkemjika stared. But what happened to you? Abeni's smile disappeared. She sank onto the couch. One of the men was strange. He asked me for something I cannot even say. I refused. He laughed and said, too late. You are already giving me enough. Then he gave me the money and told me to leave. Omotoyo's hands shook. That is exactly what the man told me. They all sat in silence. The air in the apartment felt thick, like trouble was hiding in every corner. The days after that call from the strange man were not just dark, they were frightening. Abeni was the first to change. It began with her saying, I keep seeing strange faces in my dreams, but they are not alive. At first, Omotoye and Nkemjika laughed it off. You've just been stressed, Nkemjika said. But it got worse. In her dreams, the faces came closer, pale, empty eyes, mouth that whispered things she couldn't remember when she woke up. Then one morning, Omotoyo woke up and found Abeni gone. They searched the apartment. Nothing. An hour later, a neighbor knocked. Is this your friend? She's sitting by the riverside, just staring at the water. When they got there, Abeni's feet were bare. Her dress soaked at the hem. She didn't even blink when they called her name. When she finally looked at them, her voice was flat. They wanted me to join them in the water. What did you say? Join them in the water? How? It didn't stop there. 2 days later, they found her in Market Square, standing between busy stores, holding a bag of tomatoes she didn't remember buying. Another time, she woke up at the side of a busy road, cars speeding past. The worst was when she disappeared one night, and by dawn, a local shopkeeper told them, your friend slept in that abandoned building with the madman. When they rushed there, they found her sitting cross-legged on the floor while the madman talked to himself in the corner. Abeni looked up, her eyes dull. He says, we are the same now, she whispered. Terrified, they took her back to the pastor, who had prayed for Omotoye weeks earlier. But the moment he saw them, his face hardened. I warned you not to return to that life, didn't I? He said. Now you want me to waste my own energy praying for you again? No, You must face the consequences of your choices. Omotoyo tried to beg, Pastor, please now, please, please, we won't go back again. She is not well. He raised his hand to silence her. Some battles you must fight on your own. This is one of them. The words felt like a door slamming in their faces. Desperate, Abeni called her siblings. These were the same people she had sacrificed for, taking risky jobs just to pay their school fees, skipping meals so they could eat. When she told them what was happening, her eldest brother sighed loudly over the phone. Abeni, you have finally disgraced yourself and our family. We warned you about your flashy life. Ha! Brother, when did you warn me? Her younger sister laughed bitterly. So all that posing in hotels was just to end up sleeping with a madman? God forbid. Their walls cut deeper than any sickness. She hung up and wept, shaking so hard her whole body hurt. It wasn't just her family, even Madam Zubaru, who had once called them her girls, stopped answering their calls. When Omotoye finally reached out to her, Madam Zubaru's voice was cold. Don't ever call my line again. You girls are bad luck. I'm done with you. That was the moment they realized no one was coming to save them. One night, the three of them sat in the living room with no light except a small candle. We have tried everything else, Omotoye said. Then let's try God on our own. Nkemtia whispered. They agreed to fast. 3 days, no food, just water, prayer, and reading the Psalms. The first day, their stomachs groaned louder than their prayers. By the second day, their heads felt light, but their hearts felt a strange strength. On the third day, they prayed until tears rolled down their eyes, their faces. They confessed every wrong choice, every moment of greed, every dangerous step they had taken. Abeni's voice cracked as she prayed, Lord, if you save us, we will never stop warning others. I beg, just give us this last chance. That night, after breaking their fast with small bread and water, Omotoye said, we can't just disappear quietly. We must speak. Who will listen? Nkemjika asked. Somebody will. Abeni replied, even if it's just one girl who hears us and turn back. They pulled out the ring light again, set up their phones, and sat side by side. No makeup, no fancy clothes, just raw faces and raw truth. Hello, Omotoye began, her voice shaking. We are here to tell the real truth about the so-called soft life Lagos gives. They spoke for nearly 2 hours. They told about the fancy hotels and rich men, the promises of no sex that turned into dangerous requests. They described the strange sicknesses, the dreams of dead people, the wanderings to riversides, markets, and madmen's homes. They shared the shame of family rejection, the coldness of the pastor, the silence of Madam Zubaru. Nkemjika's eyes filled with tears. Girls, what before you jump into another offer that will take your life? Some trusts are wrapped in gold papers. Abenis looked straight at the camera. The biggest scam is selling your soul for a soft life that will turn you into a shadow. At first, they thought no one was watching, but by morning, the video had gone viral. Thousands of shares, hundreds of likes. Some people mocked them anyway, others called them liars. But a surprising number of young women sent private messages saying, this happened to me too. I thought it was only me alone. They started posting more videos, calling the series Soft Life, the real soft life. They taught how to avoid scams, how to live within your means, how to spot danger signs in offers from strangers. They invited honest guests, a lawyer, a doctor, and a counselor to speak truthfully without filters. The money was slow at first, but for the first time in years, they slept without fear. Months later, they were invited to speak at a large women's conference. They stood on the stage, looking at hundreds of young women. Abeni spoke first. We thought soft life was about expensive clothes and hotels. But the real soft life is sleeping at night without fear of who is coming for you. without bad dreams, without the fear of what have I done. Nkem Dikas added, if it costs your health, your safety, or your soul, it is too expensive. It doesn't worth it. Omotoye finished. We almost lost everything chasing gold that was only glass. Some offers are not opportunities, they are traps. The crowd claps. Some women wiped tears from their eyes. Everybody stood, gave them standing ovation. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please rush down now and go and subscribe. Let's look at the lessons in this story. Lessons written in pain. When they returned home, they wrote their lessons on a piece of cardboard and stuck it on the wall. First, if an offer feels wrong in your spirit, walk away, no matter the price. Your life is worth more than the most expensive dresses or cars. Family may not always support you, but God's mercy can still find you. Don't sacrifice yourself for your family. Love, you can start with yourself first. Some dangers look beautiful. Some dangers look beautiful at first. Look twice. Don't wait until you are desperate to pray, like our story. Let me ask you some questions. Go to the comment section and answer these questions, please. If you were Abeni, what would you have done when the strange dream started? Have you ever been in a situation where the people you helped turned their backs on you? And how did you feel? Would you ever forgive the pastor for refusing to help when you needed his prayer most, or cut him off completely? What does soft life mean to you now? How can we warn more young women before they take offers that will destroy them? Listen, everything you see on social media are not real. Make sure you choose your own path right. In Lagos and anywhere in the world, not all that glitters is gold. Some glitters is poison. Know the difference before you choose it. God bless you as you watch and wait for the next interesting lesson-packed story. Bye-bye for now. God bless you all. Mwah.